Welcome to From the Edge, the official podcast of the 200 Boys Chorus of Westerly, with your host, Ryan Saunders. On today's episode, we discuss some of the chorus's upcoming events of 2016, and we also have a chat with Broadway star Tandy Cronyn. So now, gather your kids, parents, grandparents, and pets around the internet, and welcome to From the Edge.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, happy January, February, wherever you're in the world. It is live to you right now. Welcome back to From the Edge.
It's actually January.
This is live?
Well, maybe someone's listening to it in February. It doesn't matter. I am Ryan Saunders,
Start again.
Executive Director of the Chorus of Westerly. It's live to whomever's listening right now, which is just your mom and my mom. And again, Pam. Hi, Pam. Ryan Saunders, Executive Director of the Chorus of Westerly, here with my compañero, Andrew Howell, Music Director of the Chorus of Westerly, and a cast of thousands, including Harvey Blanchett. Hello there, Harvey. And we have Ashley Ryan Shea over here on the right to me. And for the first
Jessica
time...
Ryan Peters.
the first time...
Harvey Peters.
Jessica Harvey Ryan Peters is also here, too. So welcome back to From the Edge. We hope you had a wonderful and warm holiday season. A belated Happy New Year. And Andrew, here we are in January. We've got a great guest group coming in this week. And if you're listening to after Sunday, January 17th, they just came in. But... who's coming in this week?
Stila, Antico.
Oh, there you go. Harvey's going to do interpretive answers for all of Andrew. But what do you know about Stila Antico?
Well, their name means still old. And they're a group from England. No, they are a fabulous group of singers out of Great Britain, many of whom studied with Richard Marlowe in Trinity College, Cambridge, and just, kind of a top-notch ensemble performing mostly early music, but also some very modern music. This one that they're bringing to us also has, I believe, a Nico Muhly. Is that true?
Does have a Nico Muhly.
Yes, who is a Rhode Island guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you remember Nico? You should remember them. I'm pointing at Harvey.
remember
No one
Tuesday.
online, no one listening to this can see where my finger's pointing. But Nico went to Grace Church in Providence.
Oh.
And I believe it was Grace Church.
Yes.
And Grace Church used to have up at Ogons, where we have our choir camp program, a choir camp week before us. And you and I, when we were teenagers, were up there early, and Nico was there with the Grace Church people.
It is now sounding familiar.
Yeah, I thought you might know him. But anyway, it's very interesting to have. There's
sounding familiar.
another modern piece recently written, but in the style for Stila Antico, I think by Hugh Watkins. It's also on the program too. Cool. So very interesting.
And they're an a cappella ensemble of men and women.
Yeah. They've been around for 10 years, and my introduction to them came in a car ride to New Hampshire. I was driving a 16-passenger van, and I
turned around, and there they were.
There they were. No, I actually Richard Marlowe, who was a partner with us for our choral workshops for many years. I picked him and his wife Annette from the airport with 7 or 8 choral scholars from Cambridge that came with them. And while we were driving up there, I think 3 or 4 of his scholars helped found Stila. I don't know what the actual number is. I don't think any are left right now. But he told me all about this group that was forming, and that, I should book them at the hall that I was working at the time, which wasn't here. But I've been trying to get them to come here for a while, so I'm delighted this is happening. So we have them coming up. And Ashley, how are the tickets running? Are you selling thousands an hour, or?
The ticket sales have been really great, particularly this past week. We've sold a lot, and it looks like we're going to have a really great crowd. There's still some tickets available if you're hearing this before Sunday.
Well, even if you're hearing it after Sunday, you can check out tickets for other events.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because in March we have coming in March we have
a group called Tenet.
Tenet.
Yes, Tenet.
And
Tenet.
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 T-E-N-E-T.
Tenet. David
Tenet.
Yeah.
Doctor Who
and it's a palindrome, right? You can.
It is.
I like palindromes.
Yeah.
And what about Tenet's our next thing? Well, it is. And if you look at it is a
The E is
palindrome.
backwards.
But I always wanted the word palindrome to be a palindrome. But it can't be, because it would be
It
like
would need a different word than palindrome.
Yeah,
What would it be?
I don't know something about this.
Palindrome.
You've jumping topics here for a second. Tenet is coming up on I think it's Sunday, March 6th. Is that right?
Correct. At 3 p.m. Yep.
of this year.
Andrew, so you've seen them live and heard them talk a little bit about Tenet, and that's the next concert we have coming up here. And
Sure. So
what
they
they're all about.
are also a Sorry.
There you go.
They are also a fabulous early music ensemble based out of New York City.
Yeah.
Jolie Greenleaf is the managing, artistic director of them. And just this particular concert that they're bringing to us is 3 ladies, 2 sopranos and a mezzo-soprano, and 3 continuo players who will be playing us a concert entitled The Secret Lover.
Why? There you go.
Yes, thanks.
Are they going to sing that, Harvey?
They're not going to.
Maybe as an encore. I have requested it, but have not heard back. So,
Fingers crossed.
He's exciting. And are tickets on sale for that?
Yes, absolutely. Tickets are on sale. Tickets.chorusofwesterly.org, or you
very
can
nice.
call me in the box office at 401-596-8663.
That
Some
is
very
phenomenal.
great.
There we
Great
got
list.
through. We got through the phone number there,
numbers.
and we haven't had our. What we haven't had yet today, or in one of our sessions here. Well, first of all, you might be wondering where Ted, the intern, is. Yeah, Ted. He's
actually interning. Right?
He's actually interning. We actually put him to work. He's answering the phones while we're doing this today. But I feel badly for him. But we should go send him to get our favorite drink, which is of course.
Coffee freeze.
The coffee freeze.
Yes,
I mean,
shout out Bessie.
Are we getting paid by them yet?
well, we should. I mean, again, we have love for Bessie, and this is how we'll get sponsorships. We'll market people's products and then demand
be like,
demand
"Hey."
compensation. That'll work. Jessica, can we develop a sponsorship plan that works along those lines?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
sure.
we're
that
on
just
it.
means we have to cater lunch the next time we do this thing.
Oh, I like a catered
Yeah.
lunch.
Bring up the steak.
Speaking of, if anyone is looking to be a sponsor of From the Edge, we should get a sponsor for From the Edge. You can be our sponsor if you'd like to buy us lunch. If you're a local Westerly business, or even if you're not a Westerly business, want to send some food our way, we'll be happy to eat it and talk all about it. Well, we are getting close to the end of our first segment here, and we'll talk a little bit after the break about 2 things. We're going to talk about our Verdi Requiem performance coming up, and we got a big announcement related to Verdi, which we can let you know all about. And we're going to talk a little bit back and forth about what's coming up for Andrew and I, which is a romantic trip for 2 to Germany to plan a Chorus of Westerly tour.
It's going to be great.
In the meantime, one more time, you can get tickets for Stila Antico, for Tenet, and for any Chorus of Westerly event on our website, which is located at chorusofwesterly.org. The telephone number is 401-596-8663. And listen, if you're brand new to the program, we encourage you to go back onto our archives here, and you can look if you're on iTunes, and we have multiple other episodes of the show, but it's a good way for us to. I have to be totally transparent. I have no idea what's going on here. I'm getting lots of code signals. So hang on 1 second here.
It's semaphore.
You pitched to the second segment.
I pitched to the wrong segment. Well, how can we
Just
fix
keep
this?
going.
Okay, we'll just keep going. We're gonna go. We're actually going to speak. We're going to speak. I'm getting things out of order here. That's what happens when you're late to the staff meeting.
There's a raccoon loose in the office. It's very distracting.
This is
We're gonna just give him a
podcast.
pass on
You can talk
this.
for 6 hours. All right, I had no idea what was going on there. I thought I was getting signals from the. I thought we had to run
Let's
a.
call Tandy.
We should call Tandy Cronyn. We're going to run a quarterback sneak, and then we're going to call Tandy Cronyn, and I'm not here to talk about Cincinnati. We'll be right back from the Edge!
On Sunday, January 17th at 3 p.m., the Chorus of Westerly presents Stila Antico, one of the finest a cappella choral ensembles in the world, as part of the Kent Hall Masters Series. One of the world's most accomplished and innovative vocal ensembles, Stila Antico has thrilled audiences with their fresh, vibrant, and moving performances of Renaissance polyphony. The recordings have earned them multiple Grammy nominations and a Gramophone Award for early music. Stila Antico's performance on Sunday, January 17th, takes place at 3 p.m. in the Chorus of Westerly's George Kent Performance Hall, located at 119 High Street in downtown Westerly. Tickets are available by calling 401-596-8663 or online at chorusofwesterly.org. Stila Antico, presented by the Chorus of Westerly, is made possible through generous support from Westerly Hospital and the Rhode Island State Council on the Arts.
Okay, welcome back to From the Edge. We're still here in the office of the Executive Director. Pleased to be joined again by my friends Harvey Blanchett, Ashley Shea, and Jesse Peters. And we are delighted to do something for the first time on From the Edge, which is get outside our hall a little bit and promote some other wonderful arts events happening in Rhode Island. And joining us on the line right now, live on the line, or live whenever you're listening, is the wonderful actor Tandy Cronyn. And Tandy is a good friend to the chorus of Westerly. We had the great privilege of working with her, I believe, in 2008. Is that right, Harvey? Does that sound right to you?
I actually think it was 2007. It was the year before.
2008 or 2007. In the past, she played Christmas as part of our celebration of 12th night that year, and she's good friends. Well, we think she's good friends with our friend Jim Lawson.
I believe they're still friends.
And she is. She made her Broadway debut as Sally Bowles in the original production of Cabaret, and she has had her theater credits. If you go online right now and Google her, are extensive, and she's found her way on film from time to time and television. But she is a wonderful, wonderful actor, and she's going to be here in Rhode Island coming up on Friday, January 22nd and Saturday, January 23rd in a production called The Tall Boy by Simon Bent. And that's going to be at the Courthouse Center for the Arts. So welcome, Tandy. Thanks for talking to us this afternoon.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I so look forward to coming back to Rhode Island. I used to make the pilgrimage every year. This is how I got to know about the chorus, because I came up to see Celebration of 12th Night, in which my old friend Jim Lawson was playing Christmas. And then one year, of course, I had the great privilege of playing Christmas myself, and Jim played the King in that year's particular story. And it was a magical experience. I've always felt that Celebration of 12th Night is a kind of or theater. It's the very basis of what theater is, because the whole community is involved, and it takes place where it used in the old days. They probably did it in the church, although it wasn't necessarily but it's the celebration of the winter solstice and the fight between good and evil, and it was just magical to do, and I so enjoyed every year coming and seeing that. And what I'm going to have to do now is come up and see some of your concerts.
Well, we would love to have you up for that. And I know for a fact that you faithfully came up every year in the audience. You also came to the Peasants Feast, and I think you were a fan of the Westerly Morris Men as well, if I remember correctly. Does that sound correct?
You think I was also what?
A fan of the Westerly Morris Men, the Morris dancers. I always seem to find you.
Yes, I would hang out with the Morris dancers.
A risky proposition,
that was just lovely, and I so enjoyed the way every year they were always worked into the show with the Abbott's Bromley dance and the things that they did in the I forget what you call it, but when the Jesters took over.
Right, they have their own little segment in the court.
Both parts of the show, and it's a thing that I've certainly read about Morris dances, and
right.
It's mentioned in Shakespeare, but I'd never actually seen it.
I feel like it's a different thing to read about Morris dancing and to actually be within striking distance of it.
Of Morris dancers?
Yeah, just a very, very different experience.
So
that was lovely.
So Tandy,
at least this year, I'm coming back at roughly the same time as here, albeit to a different venue and to do a different show. But I love Rhode Island audiences, and so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm in rehearsal right at this moment.
Wow.
Restaging the show a little bit to suit the space at the Courthouse Theater, which is charming, but I've never done it with an audience on three sides before. Oh. So we're getting it ready to have a blast with it when I come up next week.
Wonderful.
It's a really compelling story. It's based on a short story by a quite distinguished American writer, Kay Boyle. She wrote a lot of short stories about life in occupied Germany right after World War II. And this story has just come totally full circle because it's about refugees. It's about children, boys, who lost their families in the war, and they've been swept up by the American Army. And each of them sort of adopted by a GI Army unit. And they give them the uniform, and they learn how to speak English in the accents of the soldiers that take them under their wing. And they end up feeling like they're American soldiers. But then when the troops get shipped home, the boys, of course, think, well, we're going home. I'm going to go home with my unit, because that's now their family.
Wow.
but it's not allowed. I mean, it's so close to what's happening in Europe now.
Yeah.
And it set me back on my heels when, a year or two ago, all over the news about the same term, unaccompanied children streaming up over the Mexican border, running away from violence in places like Honduras and looking for a single parent who was probably an illegal alien in the States. And, that was such a... I was doing a show at the time, and people who I had to talk back afterwards to, with people in the audience, and they said, "This is, this is the same thing that's happening all over again." And then also, race relations are very important in the story, because one of the boys is determined to go to America. He's got to have explained to him what race relations are like in the States, and it's exactly what's going on now. I mean, these things never seem to change. This tension between the people of different races, and it's a very important scene in the play. So needless to say, I get to play all the parts because it's a solo show.
That's my question.
I play the matron of the displaced persons camp that's looking after these children, and I play the three boys.
Wow.
So I'm snapping in and out of different characters, which is, of course, what I love to do most.
Absolutely. Harvey, what were you going to ask?
That's what I'm wondering. It's such an enormously complex and serious subject.
I've been working on it for several years. I have to tell you, when I embarked on this, I thought, oh, yeah, I can play the three boys, and I'll be the matron who will be the narrator of the piece. And, and the boys will each have a different accent. And, I have to find different body language. I thought, I can do that. Then, of course, push came to shove, and I had to actually do it. And it took me a long time to get that down to a really quick, easy, flowing thing. To begin with, it was very difficult. I think now, finally, I've got the hang of it. Rhode Island will have the benefit of my having tried this piece out at the University of North Texas and at the Clarence Brown in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I did it at the theater out East Hampton once, and I've also done it at the Players Club, and in New York, I did it as part of a festival called the United Solo Festival. It's solo shows from all over the world come, and they have a venue on Theater Row. And I did that about a year and a half ago. And we won an award for Best Adaptation.
It did. The United Solo Festival Best Adaptation Award. Well, Tandy, we're running toward the end of our segment, but let me give you a plug here, or give the show a plug again for you, and tell me if I say anything incorrectly. It's going to be at the Courthouse Center for the Arts, which, if you're here in Rhode Island and haven't been to the Courthouse Center, it's a wonderful facility. In fact, they have a brand new executive director whose name I think is Bill Riker. He was here at the chorus this week, so hopefully Bill will send a copy of this to Bill. The Courthouse Center for the Arts is in West Kingston at 3481 Kingston Road, which is 138 for you Rhode Islanders. It is The Tall Boy. Its performances again, January 22nd, which is a Friday night at 8 p.m., January 23rd, the Saturday. There's a matinee at 2, and there's a show at 8 p.m., and tickets are $25, and you can get information on the Courthouse website, which is courthousearts.org, or you can call them at 401-782-1018. Tandy, thank you so much for speaking with us. Break a leg in the performance, and we hope to talk to you and see you very soon, and we'll try to find our way up to Kingston next week to see this thing. And I will try and find my way sometime during the season to come up and visit and see one of your wonderful musical programs. Wonderful. Thank you, Tandy. Thank you so very much. Have a great rehearsal, Harvey. Thanks so much, Tandy. Lovely speaking with you. My pleasure to talk to you all. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. That was Tandy Cronyn. Tandy Cronyn. You guys, Tandy Cronyn. Having her here in 12th Night when she was here was a very special thing. She is such an established theater actor. I really Google her and look at the work she's done. She does have famous parents, and you can figure that out when you Google her. But she is her own. She has
Yeah, there you go. People are Googling right now. But when we had her in 12th Night, one of my favorite things about Jim Lawson, Harvey, you might know this, is that Jim, for most of his time here, not every year, but he was Father Christmas in 12th Night.
Only twice was he not Father Christmas.
And in this instance, he was the king.
Yes, Baron Asher.
And he, at the end, the now have Father Christmas's farewell, the now have good day. He always talks about that Tandy came in and showed him how to do it, and got to the essence of that particular poetry. And it's funny because the other day I listened to an audio recording of Jim doing the Now Have Good Day in 2003, 2004-ish, one of the CDs we have here in the office. And then I remembered how he was doing it in the last couple of years, and you can actually hear how he's shifted it. So, but Jim Lawson, who has worked with Tandy for years and is heavily involved in the arts in New York City and in the Hamptons for years, and has helped make this all possible. So thanks to Jim and thanks to Tandy. We're going to take a break from this particular segment, and we'll be right back with From the Edge.
On Sunday, January 17th at 3 p.m., the Chorus of Westerly presents Stila Antico, one of the finest a cappella choral ensembles in the world, as part of the Kent Hall Masters Series. One of the world's most accomplished and innovative vocal ensembles, Stila Antico has thrilled audiences with their fresh, vibrant, and moving performances of Renaissance polyphony. The recordings have earned them multiple Grammy nominations and a Gramophone Award for early music. Stila Antico's performance on Sunday, January 17th, takes place at 3 p.m. in the Chorus of Westerly's George Kent Performance Hall, located at 119 High Street in downtown Westerly. Tickets are available by calling 401-596-8663 or online at chorusofwesterly.org. Stila Antico, presented by the Chorus of Westerly, is made possible through generous support from Westerly Hospital and the Rhode Island State Council on the Arts.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, people of all ages, welcome back to From the Edge, our third, eins, zwei,
Dry.
Yeah, the dry segment here, right here.
It's not dry.
Nothing in here is a dry segment.
That is false.
From the Edge, and our thanks again to the fabulous Tandy Cronyn. Harvey, you got a chance to work with her directly during that period of time.
Just a marvelous source of talent and just a really wonderful, giving person. It's very strange because she really is, essentially royalty in the theater and in Hollywood, and could be very full of herself, and instead is just totally down to earth and wonderful to talk to. Just always a treat to see whenever I venture into the city.
I pushed her on the Morrisman because she would come year after year, and everyone would say, "Oh, Tandy Cronyn's here." And the first time I ever met her was in the Morrisman had a little space here in the building where they assemble and maybe have a beer or six, and Tandy was right there in the middle with the pint right there having it with her, and she told me, she's like, my favorite thing is to come to the Peasants Feast, and I love the Mummers Play.
The Peasants Feast.
She loved the Peasants Feast. I wish everybody loved the Peasants Feast as much as she did. But then she hung on the Morris Men, and then she got her ticket. She usually was Saturday nights that she came, and she made herself accessible to anyone who wanted to talk to her, and she's just a wonderful actor and a super person too, and really, please, if you're in the vicinity of Courthouse or can get there for her show, I'm fascinated to see her play all these roles.
And I think it's so wonderful. It's really well suited to her. She actually, and besides just theater, she is a wonderful study of the written word. She did included our Now Have Good Day speech as part of a online poetry collection, where she did a reading of the poem and other poets read other poems, but that's in costume, and that's
it's still there. You can look it up and Google it. We can look it up later. But anyway, well, on to some news of the chorus coming up here. We have a couple pieces of information. One, just to let you know, first of all, we're going to have a collegiate concert that's going to be on Saturday, April 9th, and it's going to be a return trip of the
Dartmouth Airs.
You stole.
He didn't point at me. Sorry.
You stole.
I just stole that from Tez.
Jessica
okay.
Harvey Ryan's line.
Dartmouth Airs. Dartmouth Airs. April 9th.
Everyone can wear green. Do you have you ever been to Dartmouth, Jessie, at all?
I have not.
Have anyone ever been to Hanover up to Dartmouth? Beautiful, beautiful campus. And we have a lot of Dartmouth alums that live in the area here that hopefully they'll come out and support it. But the Airs are coming. The Airs were runner-up on the second season of the Sing-Off a couple years ago, and that's when we first had them. And we're delighted that they're going to come back. So that's in April. They're going to come back. And we're doing the Verdi Requiem, which we've announced for quite a while. But, Jessie, what is our announcement about the Verdi Requiem?
Verdi Requiem. We are pleased to announce that today, as of Friday, January 15th, that tickets are on sale for a wonderful performance at the Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Providence, Rhode Island. So we are taking the chorus, everybody on up to Providence to perform at the Vets on May 15th at 2:30 at the Vets. So tickets are on sale now. You can visit vetsri.com and buy your tickets, or call the box office 401-421-2787 and buy your tickets right now.
And that is the Vets box office.
That's the Vets box office. But
I'm sorry, I'm hacking away here, but
it's hot.
No, that's the Vets box office, and you shouldn't, for the Vets performance in Providence, if you're looking for tickets, you cannot get the tickets through the Chorus of Westerly. You have to get them through Vets, but they have a very well staffed box office and website where you can take care of all of this.
Nearly as well staffed as ours.
And if you want the Westerly tickets, you have to call us here in Westerly.
Correct.
You cannot get them through Providence.
We'll put some good links on there so people can find them on our website. It takes a little effort to figure out, but we'll be doing it here in Westerly. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about this particular performance and why it's so special, and not just music, but guest artists, and why people should trek their way to Westerly or Providence to hear this in May?
Yeah, I mean, just starting with the piece of music itself, the Verdi Requiem is just a behemoth of the choral repertoire, and one of those pieces that is immediately recognizable to people who aren't even that familiar with choral music, particularly the key. The Dies Irae section, and it's been used in all sorts of advertisements and various things throughout the years. For us in particular, it's special because we're going to the big city, which we haven't done since 1999. It's really great to be welcome. The
big city being Providence.
And I was going to get to that in a second, and to go up to Providence and sing there. And just to, get to spread from the south all the way up to the north of Rhode Island. We're covering the whole state with this. And we have a wonderful conductor coming in to conduct us in this, in David Hill, who is just, he's one of the best in the world. He travels constantly as a conductor and clinician. He is the conductor of the London Bach Choir, the BBC Singers in London, Yale Schola Cantorum. I mean, he's just got some of the top posts in the world. And to have him come down and work with the Chorus of Westerly is a huge honor, and just, absolutely fantastic for us as an organization. So besides the fact that the Verdi Requiem is just something that everybody should hear as many times as you can in a live setting, not just on a recording, this is one of those pieces that you want to go hear live. But we just have a top-notch musician working with us as conductor. We've got a great ensemble of soloists for it, and we're going to knock it out of the park.
Nice.
It is. I've actually, I sang Verdi as a treble, if that makes any sense at all. Is that possible that I sang it as a treble way back in the day?
Yeah, I sang it as a treble too. So it was 1988.
But then I was not singing the most recent time they did the Verdi, and so I actually got to hear it here in the hall. And I gotta say, I've heard a lot of music in this hall, and it's all really beautiful, but the Verdi is just it just comes at you from every direction. It just blows you back in your seat. It just can't. There's no real way of describing without being in the room and hearing it happen with a group of this size, with a band that size, just to see what they do when they come together. Orchestra. Sorry,
you can call it a band.
No, you absolutely cannot.
No, it is something. Have either of you, Jesse, or again, no one can see me when I point. Jesse or Ashley ever heard or seen this piece performed?
Oh, I've heard it, but I've never seen it performed, and I've never performed it myself. I think I've performed a movement of it, maybe, but I don't think.
Yeah, I've never heard it live.
Well, you're gonna hear it. You're down in your offices. It's that loud, and it is stunning. Though there are some parts of it that are just very operatic in spot. I mean, of course, Verdi is very famous for his operas, but it should be quite an adventure. Now, here's the question you asked me, but I'll ask you back there. Are you going to sing it, or are you just going to sit out and have cocktails with me and laugh at the singers?
Don't make him sing.
I haven't decided yet. I'll probably sing because I think I would have more fun doing that. But the cocktails sound good, though.
Yeah,
so.
Put your hands together, my friend.
The great thing about having cocktails and sitting in the back of the hall is you can still sing. I mean, it's just people don't. You're not really part of the performance, but it should be quite an adventure for us to do it. And now just jumping topics here. So coming up at the beginning of February, Andrew and I will be having a trip for two. We're going to Deutschland, and
yes, we are.
And we're going to be doing a management and inspection visit in Germany for the Chorus of Westerly's 2017 Germany tour. The chorus is going to be going to Germany July, I think, 6th. 2017 through the 17th, 2017. And Andrew and I are going to go over and do some preliminary work, including a meeting and a...
Beer tastings.
Beer tastings, probably. Did you notice on our itinerary that actually is in there?
Rightly so.
No, but going to places like the Thomaskirche, which is Bach's church. Speaking of all that, just to let you know, is that anyone who would like to can participate in this tour, particularly as a camp follower. A camp follower is like a groupie. Are you guys? What would you call a camp follower? I don't know.
A tour follower would
tour
probably
follower.
be more appropriate.
Well, we like to call them camp followers anyway. Spouses, friends of the chorus, other family members. It can really be anyone, but anyone can go on one with it here.
That's what camp follower also means.
A camp follower means hooker? Well, they're putting this down here. This is not. Listen,
she probably wrote that down.
Jumanji!
I didn't know that. Well, how many little kids do you think of? Listen, I'm sorry. Mom's dad.
That's the rugby position hooker.
All right. Well,
it's a sports.
Well, interesting. We don't want
here.
those to go on there. Well, look. Now, Harvey.
Oh, you're pointing at me. Ryan's pointing at me.
Harvey, have we not called them camp followers?
We've been calling them camp followers for decades. It's never made sense.
When was camp
It's
follower,
not
though?
camp.
That must have been like in the Renaissance era,
like,
during the Stila Antico
in the
days.
historical
Yes, in the 1400s from the Chorus of Westerly.
various women following men around in times of war.
That is true.
It does have a historical context that can be construed as a laundress, prostitute,
Yeah, a lot of laundry
hooker.
or,
Why didn't
There's a
anyone tell me
connection
this?
All
there.
along, Ryan
16
really meant Jenga.
Well, I'm learning new things.
But like a lot of short order cooks and
Yes.
essentially the town that follows a war around. to keep it
However,
running.
we do encourage fans, supporters of the Chorus of Westerly to still come and be a tour follower.
there's gonna be
Please join
laundry
us
to
in
do.
Germany.
But I can't not call it camp follower. That's like saying, I don't know. All right, baby, I'm
No,
going to
no,
have to.
I think we just have
if
to
you
own
were
it.
wondering if we were going to get
Just
through
own it.
an entire episode of From the Edge without a moment of Ryan thoroughly embarrassing himself or not understanding the English language or speaking it, you were wrong. Okay, so you can come along with us on the tour, and if you want interested in coming in as a singer, you need to audition and join the chorus, but you can also do that.
true.
There's nothing wrong with saying the word singer. There's no like, I'm learning things new any day. Anyway, we would love for you to come, and if you go to our website, chorusofwesterly.org, and all the way over the right, there's a thing that says artistic programs. If you go in there, click on that little link, there's a Germany tour link there, and you can read all about it. But we're looking for singers, too, to join the chorus, and especially strong tenors and basses. Not to, we have love for our current tenors and basses, but we could use
You have to have big muscles.
a few
Ouch.
more. A few more. So, well, that should wrap up another exciting,
should.
wondrous adventure of From the Edge.
Several
Hopefully,
minutes prior to this moment.
hopefully by the time the next episodes air, we all still work here. On behalf of the Chorus of Westerly, thank you for coming out and supporting us all fall. We look forward to seeing you, if you're hearing this before Stila Antico, at Stila Antico, or coming out to Tenet, or coming to hear the Dartmouth Airs in April, or coming to see us at Verdi. God bless, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy February. Peace out, home slices.
Bye.
Thank you.
We're on to Cincinnati.